Kilo Delta 2, Papa India, India.
Papa India, India, come back with a call sign.
India, India, come back with a call sign.
Kilo Delta 2, Papa India, India, Paul in Rochester, New York.
Roger that. Roger that. And coincidentally, I am receiving you on the Rochester, New York SDR. You must be within 25 miles of this SDR, Roger.
Miles of this SDR, Roger.
Roger, Roger. I didn't even know there was a web SDR in Rochester, New York. I'll have to find that one.
Oh, Roger, this is a really nice one. Does a real good job, and I use it quite a bit, quite often. That in Raleigh, North Carolina, and the Milford, PA SDRs. So, what radio are you running now?
Right now I'm on an ICOM IC7300 with the stock hand mic, and my TX EQ settings. I have bass at -1, treble at -3, and my transmit bandwidth right now is 300 to 2700. My compression is at a 2, and my mic gain is at 20%.
Roger, I would run that radio at full width. There's no reason to compromise on your width of transmission. So I would run that at 100 to 2900, Roger.
100 to 2900, Roger.
Roger, Roger. This is 100 to 2900. I had narrowed it down just to try to when I try to reach some DX stations. Do you recommend narrowing the TX down at all for DX calls, or keep it wide all the time?
Oh, never reduce, because when you start reducing your bandwidth, it has the greatest effect usually at the top end, and that's where all your intelligibility is. So when you roll off that, you narrow your band pass, you're rolling off the top end intelligibility. So here you are with 1,000 other guys on the same frequency at the same time, and you don't want to be muddy. You want to be the brightest kid on the lot, right?
On the lot, right?
Roger, Roger. How does the compression sound? Is it too much, not very punchy, or just right?
It's pretty close. It's really pretty close. I like the, what was your top end EQ on at this point?
Right now, my top end is 2900. I'm 100 to 2900.
Right, but mic EQ.
Oh, okay, sorry. The treble is at a +3, and the bass is at a -1.
Roger, and this is the 7300 stock hand mic?
QSL.
Roger, yeah, I would, that's a beautiful microphone. The only thing that could, I think, beat that microphone would be a condenser desk microphone, which would be the same audio characteristics, except it would, you would have the advantage of having a desk mic versus the hand mic for ease of operation, Roger.
Roger, that's what I heard. That this radio is a little bit happier with condenser mics. Is that generally what you've seen? Do you recommend staying away from dynamic mics with this radio?
I recommend I recommend condenser microphones. Let me pick my way through that landmine. I have a personal preference to condenser microphones because they are so well articulated. You put a condenser microphone and a dynamic microphone together, the condenser microphone is going to sound so much clearer, Roger.
Okay, all right. Well, and I guess that's good that the stock mic is already a condenser, and I thought maybe it was running a little too hot because I had to have my mic gain down at 20%. But if it sounds good to you, then I'll leave it.
Well, I tell you what, go to your ALC. Go to ALC and tell me what that's looking like.
Well, if I turn off the compressor right now, My ALC is about 50% to 3/4. And if I turn the compressor back on to level 2, the ALC goes just about 99%, and the compression is about 6 dB.
Roger. Now, I usually prefer about a 3 on the compressor, and somewhere around 40 on the microphone gain, about 40 on the microphone gain, and then look at the ALC and see what's happening at that point.
Okay, Roger. This is a 40% mic gain and a comp level of 3. The ALC is full scale on voice peaks, and the compression is about 15 dB on voice peaks.
All right. Now, remember that hand mic, you have to work it to the side. You have to talk across it as opposed to straight into it. Although at some point, if you got a windscreen, you could just set over that hand mic, and that would solve 99.9% of the problems that mic has, Roger.
Roger. Yeah, I was looking for windscreens for hand mics, and I was having trouble finding some. I think just the generic ones to just go over everything and cover the buttons. Right now I'm talking across the mic. Hopefully that sounds a little bit better. Just for audio recording purposes, this is me talking directly into the mic. This is me talking across the mic. Roger.
Well, it didn't have much turbulence directly into it that time, but you can bet your bottom dollar that you will have a lot of turbulence working directly into that mic. You want to put that to the side of your mic mouth and work across it, but don't put it too far back, because then you'll reduce some volume and lose some sibilance. So it's just a delicate place right there. But on the windscreen thing, they're making windscreens now that are only about 3 inches long, and it's just almost ideal for the hand mic, Roger. I mean, it used to be like 6 inches long and cover the whole microphone that they were putting it on, but now they just make them about 3 inches long, Roger.
Roger. So it's just the foam sock that goes over the whole thing, and you just gotta push the talk button through the foam.
Yeah, Roger. And, like I say, it's not real long now. It doesn't go all the way over the microphone like those old ones used to. This is just a shorty jobber, Roger. Okay, I'll have to look online for one of them. Right, or if you have a music store somewhere in town, I think they're like $4 or $5, for a foam windscreen. Oh, okay, yeah, I never considered that. I'll have to look around. I'm not sure what's in my area. Well, thanks for helping me out with my audio settings. I know there's probably a lot of people trying to reach out to you. So once again, I appreciate the feedback. KC9VKV. This is KD2PII 73, and thanks for the help. Roger, your audio looks to be about 3 dB, maybe 2.5, somewhere in that area. So your average peak modulation is about 80-85%. So that's great. You're sounding good. I love that microphone. 3 is have yourself a good afternoon, and join us next Friday if you get a chance. We'll be here hopefully if the creeks don't rise and all that stuff. This is KC9 VKV and the QSO Vlog network. If you've got a radio, you want to check out the audio. We are recording between now and 5. And what you do to check out your audio is go to YouTube in a couple of days and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and that will take you to our QSO Vlog page. And on that page you'll find a QSO Vlog entitled My Group Aircheck 3/22/19. My Group Aircheck 3/22/19, which happens to be today's date. This is KC9 VKV.